Having a naming convention probably isn't the first thing that you think about when you're creating files and folders in your Drive. Well, let's change that. Having a naming convention will prevent your files from getting messy and will make searching for files much easier in the future. And if you've already mastered the art of creating folders and subfolders, finding well named files will be a breeze. Let's explore some tips for creating your own naming convention so that your Drive files stay neat, organized, and easily searchable. My first tip is to name and move your file as soon as you create it. There is nothing worse than trying to find a file without a name. Leaving a file unnamed will lead it to be saved as untitled document, making it difficult to find in the future. After you name the file, if you have not placed it in a desired folder, do so now. To move the file to a desired folder, you have two options. Your first option is to click on the file icon located in your toolbar and choose which folder you would like the file to be located in. Your other option is to click File and then Move. Again, choose the folder you would like the file to be moved to and click Move Here. My second tip is to be descriptive. You'll save yourself a whole bunch of headaches if you add some descriptive information in the file name. You won't have to open multiple files hunting for the right one if the file name and information is specific and clear, but don't go overboard with too many details. Here's some common information you may consider including. First could be type of document. Is it a presentation? Is it a lesson plan? Is it an assignment? What is it? It may look something like lesson presentation, Cold War. Another piece of information you may want to include is the date, maybe the date you created it or the date you will use it. This may look like January 5th, 2022, ELA PLC meeting notes. You could also include the name of the group or the people that are involved with the document. This could be a student's name, a planning group, the committee name, department name, and so on. It may look like ELA department meeting notes 4/25/2022 or building leadership committee planning document. It is important to note that while having naming conventions are very helpful when creating and searching for files, creating folders and subfolders to store these well-named files will make finding the files so much easier. Be sure to save the files in the appropriate folders. My third tip is to be consistent. When naming files, use a similar format that will make searching for files so much easier in the future. For example, you may choose to name all of your student assignments in a specific way. Let's say you always include the document type, the date, and the topic. It may look something like worksheet, measuring angles, February 19th, 2022, or exit ticket, point of view, 10/14/2022. If this is the format that works for you, stick to it. When creating your lesson plans, use the same format, or when we're creating any documents, use that same format. You may find that you will also create other files in the same layout. Creating a habit will make searching for files so much easier in the future if you know how you typically choose to name your files. My fourth tip would be to use numbers when you're creating folders. If you're like me, you may want your folders to be organized in the order that you would use those folders. Google Drive automatically organizes your folders either alphabetically or when the folder was modified. However, this may cause folders to be out of chronological order for you. So, a naming convention that you may use is to number your folders. For example, when I was teaching health, my first unit was Intro to Health, followed by Mental Health, and then the Communication unit. Since I wanted my folders to fall in that same order, I would put the numbers in front of those unit folders. Then, when I would open my Drive, my folders would fall in chronological order. My last tip, and this is a fun one, and it's more optional if you're someone who is like me and is a visual organizer. Use emojis. Emojis can be a fun way to help you visualize an organization of your files, and it's not necessarily a name, but it is a fun way to organize. To add an emoji to a file or folder, simply right-click and choose your emoji. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Windows, period. Naming conventions are going to be a great way for you to easily find your files and folders in the future so you're not searching through a whole bunch of files endlessly, which can be so frustrating. If you have any questions, let us know and go ahead, complete the assignment in Google Classroom. Good luck.